Hey everybody, welcome to Frank's EC channel. Glad y'all are checking it out. Going to talk about Bible in the news for June 2025. What do we got going on? Let's look at the subject of wars and rumors of wars, as mentioned in Matthew 24 by Yahushua the Messiah. And he said, but the end is not yet. However, some war will end up being the war. Everybody's trying to predict that. Well, Ukraine's an ongoing conflict for several years with hints of resolution between America, Russia, and Ukraine. Then we have the Pakistani-Indian conflict, which flared up and seemingly went away without a reason why. I wonder if they're still killing each other. Maybe our friends from the east and north of India are inspiring that one. Now the Iranian and Israel conflict and all the prophetic significance relating to that, which really goes back to 2023 and the October 7th attack, which was at the end of the Feast of Sukkot, or Tabernacles, and the prophetic references to Gaza, and then the regime change in Syria, and the War of Damascus, which looked like it might happen and didn't. So we have a lot of things biblically in play. Well, what does the end mean? To me, the end can be the beginning. The question is, what are you going to do about it, my friend? Best thing you can do about it is be right with Elohim, the creator of the universe. That's the best thing you can do. But we'll look at some prophetic things related to these topics, probably focusing more on the Israeli-Iranian conflict. And it appears that the folks from the east and north of India again are involved in that, at least supplying the Iranians. A lot of prophecies that have to do with Elam, Persia. Those are some of the ancient names of the place now called Iran. Well, we'll get through it here. Stick around. Many Americans went to sleep last night with an announcement from the President of the United States that American bombers had struck a nuclear plant in Iran. A few weeks ago, Brother N.B. Parrish wrote a two-page short article where he says, "Are we about to witness the judgment on Elam, which is southern Iran? This is the area where the Bushehr nuclear facility lies." He goes on to quote Jeremiah 49:34, "The word of Yah that came to Jeremiah, the prophet, in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, saying," and he talks about this. This must be a future event for the children of Israel, as they had not yet inherited the land. Then he references Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 2. This prophecy is separate from the Ezekiel 38:5, in which Persia or the rest of Iran will be party to a separate invasion of Israel. They fought on different battlefields than the Ezekiel 38. Elam is not named among the participants in Ezekiel 38, nor is it named in Psalm 83 prophecies unless we include all of Persia. Then he goes on to talk about Jeremiah 49:35. Thus said Yehovah of hosts, behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might. And he goes on to speculate, are we going to see this? In his study, which you can see here, he goes on to reference Jeremiah 49:36, and upon Elam will I bring the four winds from the four quarters of heaven, and will scatter them toward all the winds, and there shall be no nation whither the outcast of Elam shall come. He goes on to state, will strong nations come against them and break their fighting power? Could this be the U.S. and Israel? Will other U.S. allies join? There is no indication Russia will join against the forces brought against Elam. Russia may be too bogged down with its war in Ukraine. Well, we already know that China's bringing stuff in to Iran by planes, and he speculated on the possibility there is that nuclear. Jeremiah 49:37 goes on to state, "For I will cause Elam to be dismayed before their enemies and before them that seek their life, and I will bring evil upon them, even my fierce anger, says Yod-Heh-Vaveh. I will send the sword after them till I have consumed them." Brick goes on to state, well, this probably be an overwhelming and ferocious attack upon them. They all won't be destroyed by the sword, or there would be no one to fulfill the prophecy of their return in the latter days. Again, he quotes Jeremiah 49, verse 38. "I will set my throne in Elam and will destroy from thence the king and the princes said." The mullahs will be overthrown. Most of the Iranian people are against them anyway, he speculates. And then he references Jeremiah 49:39. "But it shall come to pass in the latter days that I will bring again the captivity of Elam." So, are we looking at the fulfillment of these prophecies as you see here? My friends, get right with the Most High Yah and follow his son Yahushua as we look at biblical prophecy unfolding. Bye for now. Shalom in your home.